What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of the Diamond Experience, and today it is really late right now but at the time I'm recording this, so I'm gonna get straight to the point. Tonight, as of September 30th, we got to see Jermell Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez. Now, why was this really fun to watch? And so many people were captured by this moment. Undisputed versus undisputed. 4-belt versus 4-belt. The ultimate fight. Probably the first undisputed versus undisputed match we've ever seen in boxing history. Just happened right before our eyes. And we are so interested to find out who's going to win. Now, Canelo obviously came out as the winner. No questions about it. It was his weight class. Super middleweight title. This was his weight class. He dominates this weight class. I don't think anybody else is as good as him in super middleweight. As Jermell Charlo came up from welterweight all the way to super middleweight, I didn't think that Charlo was going to win because he has no experience going up in weight and fighting someone at that caliber, right? He was gassing out a little bit, but what caught my eye the most in that game, well, not in that game, in that match, was the fact that Canelo kept putting on the pressure against Jermell Charlo so bad, even to the point where Charlo was backed up into corners the whole fight, and Canelo was getting them easy 1-2, 1-2-3s in there, right? Canelo came out the better man. Like, he has more experience. His head movement's better. His reaction time is good. His strength is crazy. I'm not saying Charlo doesn't have any of that, but Charlo doesn't have experience in the super middleweight. So that's part of the reason why he's kind of lost the way he did. That's the reason why it was such a one-sided fight, you know? And looking at odds right now, like, Canelo was heavily betted against winning. Like, he was the underdog in that fight, and people thought Charlo was going to win. And I was thinking, why do you think Charlo's going to win? I get it. He's 6 foot, and he has a reach difference of 3 inches, and that's really important. But it's not his weight class. It's not his league. He's outclassed in super middleweight. That was what I could tell. Like, he has experiences in boxing, but it really goes to show how different and how diverse weight classes are, in the case of which you go up or down weight classes, it's going to be so different from what you're used to, because people are going to be faster, stronger, more durable. So it's kind of, you got to adapt to that environment, and Charlo hasn't done it yet. He hasn't adapted at all yet. Even after post-fight interviews, Charlo was like, hey, I'll fight anyone, just give me time. He said, hell, even let me fight Charlo. Not Charlo, what am I talking about? He said, even let me fight Terrence Crawford. And I was like, what are you talking about right now? I totally get it, why you want to go after Terrence Crawford. I mean, he's in the middleweight, right? But at the same time, it's kind of like, he's a whole nother different beast than Canelo is. Terrence Crawford's a switch hitter. He's got great defense. He knows how to utilize that Philly show. He knows how to, like, switch hit. He hits hard. He's patient. He's got all those tactics together. He's got a full playbook for himself. Charlo has that as well, but is it his weight class? Has he adapted enough to a point where he's fully fine to fight in these weight at this kind of weight? He'll be more comfortable fighting in middleweight, but at the same time, it's kind of like you really have to train hard, or like you just have to do a whole nother level of conditioning and stuff just to get into the like just trying to get used to the weight class. But overall, fight was pretty one-sided. It was still entertaining nonetheless. Like, 7th round, Canelo gets Charlo to knee. Wow. I didn't expect that. I was like, what happened? I was like, why did he go down? This is so confusing. Did he get hit in the body or whatever? And then I was like waiting for the round to end for a replay. And apparently on the replay, he got hit in the temple, like, and I didn't even notice. I was like, holy shit. That must have hurt really bad. And I could tell he was hurting. And it was wild. And then the next couple of rounds, you got Canelo hitting them uppercuts and stuff. It was like after Charlo got hit in the temple, his guard just started to fade as Canelo kept getting through to him, you know, kept aiming for the body, for those body punches. It was wild. Body punches were also key to kind of slow Charlo down in a sense, as I could see at some points during the fight. You know, he's just firing combos and stuff, trying to hope that something lands. Nothing landed. And I checked the predicted scorecards and stuff. It was not even close. Canelo was up by like 8 points in the 10th round, and then like come 12th round, Charlo was still backing up, and I was like, you clown. You are such a clown, because you literally have nothing to lose right now. Your undisputed belts are fine. This isn't a challenge for you. This isn't a title defense. This is Canelo's title defense. You have nothing to lose. At this point, you should just start swinging combinations together, kind of getting combos together. Doesn't matter if Canelo's going to try and counter. You just got to do something. Because if you don't do something, you're going to lose. But it didn't matter because Charlo kept backing up. He kept backing up and moving around, and I was like, just go on the infight, dude. Just kind of like put some combinations together, bro. Hit him in the body, like do something. Because this is a big moment for you. You can become undisputed in 2 weight classes, and that's like never been done before. And you're telling me you're not gonna risk it all for this undisputed belt? It's not like you even wanted it. You didn't fight like you wanted the belts. This is like the same thing that happened to Errol Spence in the Terrence Crawford fight. I got Terrence Crawford, didn't look like he was gonna win, versus Errol Spence. He's a young, crazy monster that just wants to eat you alive, fucking beat the shit out of you. But no, Terrence Crawford beat him up. It was because of his fundamentals and his switch hitting. It was honestly looking incredible for Crawford. And afterwards, Errol Spence was swollen all over. He lost all of his belts, and Terrence Crawford became undisputed. It's the same thing that happened tonight, right? Like, underdog beats the top dog, right? Like, going into this fight, Charlo was like the clear, like, people thought he was going to be the clear winner, but like at the same time, Canelo Alvarez came out swinging. He knew he he was so unpredictable, and his game plan was crazy. And Charlo just couldn't do anything about it. He couldn't capitalize on the situation. That was his problem. And I should have betted on this fight, because I said that Canelo was gonna win unanimous decision. I should have betted money on it, but no, I didn't, and that's very disappointing to see. And one more thing, I just want to talk about it real quick because I didn't talk about it earlier. I was really excited for this fight at the beginning when they were starting up. For the first round, nobody was touching each other. Nobody was throwing punches. Nobody was doing nothing. But at the same time, you could feel the tension between the two. You know, it was like two Undisputeds fighting each other. It's gonna get the kind of read the room. That the feeling you're gonna get is kind of like anxious. You know, you're kind of waiting for both of them to start fighting each other, right? That's, I guess, what two Undisputeds got. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end the video here. That was my opinion on the on the Undisputed versus Undisputed, Jermell Charlo versus Saùl Canelo Alvarez fight.